Death of the man at the center of an officer-involved shooting in Butte County is adding fuel to an already volatile situation. If you haven't seen it yet, the shooting is pretty shocking. Meanwhile, police are still investigating a deadly hit-and-run crash that killed a 10-year-old in Reading. It happened Thursday night. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jerry Olenyn. After seeing that surveillance video, neighbors in the area say they are worried about theft. And KRCR News Channel 7's Danielle Radin spoke to them today and has the story. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon. Don had only 4 more drop-offs, 3 girls and a boy. He was here on 8th Avenue, about a half a mile from Highway 99. That's when the water from the broken levee began to push up against his bus. Witnesses tell CHP that the driver of the car was passing on the shoulder of the road and going in excess of the speed limit, which was 55 miles per hour. When he tried to get back onto the main road, he hit the lip that separates the shoulder and the main part of the road. He lost control of his vehicle, went into the other lane, and was hit by the semi. And what turned out to be a car full of alleged gang members. Randy Zachary called off his chase at about this location here on Pillsbury. He did so because the red Honda Civic stopped, and in the back seat, the young men flashed guns at him. That's when he realized he should probably give up his pursuit. It took John just a few minutes to drive his cab to this location in South Orville at Wyandotte and Columbia. It was 5:40 in the morning, still dark outside. He was greeted by 4 young men. They entered the taxi, which was parked here, and in an instant, Hardwick says his life was in jeopardy.
He put the machete against my neck, started pulling on it like this right there, and that's when he said he's going to kill me.
Very early tomorrow morning, around 5 o'clock, 11 teams of volunteers will each take 100 flags and post them up and down the Skyway on both sides. It'll take about 2 hours to complete, and when it's finished, the Skyway will look something like this. Dan Gordon, if that's his real name, will be in a North Dakota courthouse next week. He has legal representation, and he will likely be extradited back to Butte County to face trial. And the man who hoped to spend a few years here could conceivably spend 7 years behind bars. In Orville, Jerry Olenyn, KRCR News Channel 7. Death of the man at the center of an officer-involved shooting in Butte County is adding fuel to an already volatile situation. If you haven't seen it yet, the shooting is pretty shocking. Enloe Hospital confirming that 26-year-old Andrew Thomas was taken off life support, family at his side, at about 5:30 last night. Thomas, suspected of DUI, had been at Enloe since he rolled his SUV Thanksgiving morning. His passenger killed in the accident. Immediately afterwards, Paradise Officer Patrick Feaster, a 5-year veteran with the force, will approach the vehicle and you will see him fire 1 shot into Thomas's neck. It was ruled an accident. It paralyzed Thomas from the chest down. 3+ weeks later, he died. Butte County DA Mike Ramsey ruled that he would not file criminal charges because Thomas, at the time, was still alive. But what now? Will Mike Ramsey pursue charges against Officer Patrick Feaster? We spoke with Ramsey today, Ramsey telling KRCR that, quote, the factual situation has changed. Also, quote, we will reevaluate the shooting, and because there was a death, quote, now we can consider negligence where we couldn't consider negligence before. Ramsey also not ruling out an involuntary manslaughter charge against Patrick Feaster. And new tonight, the man police say caused a major power outage in Red Bluff is behind bars. Police arrested 52-year-old Michael Jones last night. He's accused of driving drunk and crashing into 2 power poles on Walnut Street near Baker Road. At one point, 2,700 people were without power. Tonight, power in that area has been fully restored. 2 Reading garages destroyed in a fire overnight. Firefighters say it started just after 12:30 this morning between 2 homes on 10th Street. Investigators say a man living in a detached garage was trying to refuel the generator when it ignited. Nobody was hurt. Millions of people are expected to travel during the holidays, and with the recent winter storms, we wanted to know what drivers are doing to prepare for their trips. KRCR News Channel 7's Christina Davies spoke with a couple of people who have experience traveling in these storms. She joins us now. To campaign 2016, Donald Trump under attack. The Democratic candidates for president took aim at the GOP frontrunner, and today, Trump is firing back. ABC's Devin Dwyer is in Washington with more. Still to come, we're getting into the holiday spirit here at the Big 7, night 2 of the 7 Nights of Lights. The Reading home with a very personal touch. We'll explain when we come back. And thank you for watching KRCR News Channel 7 at 5:30. Jeremy and I will be back in 30 minutes with more local news at 6:30. We'll see you then. Oh, by the way, you can log on to krcrtv.com for the latest news and weather. It's right there. Good night. Stump A 180-pound African desert tortoise is back home munching on his favorite food after an unexpected and dangerous excursion across this portion of Highway 99 Wednesday during rush hour.
Probably around 5-ish.
Danielle Duncan, a clerk at Crossland's gas station, witnessed it all.
Oh, I just looked out the window and I just saw the traffic stopped and the tortoise in the middle of the road, and I don't know, kind of scary.
Stump lives here at this house on the east side of Highway 99. His owner is Christy Tapp, who loves animals, exotic ones too. But Stump had been living here for only a couple of weeks when he ripped through this chain link fence and wandered across a busy Highway 99.
I think he was hungry and he thought the grass was greener on the other side maybe.
For a tortoise, though, Christy says Stump, who she estimates is 20 years old, is pretty quick.
If he wanted to get all the way across the street, it'd probably take him about 5 minutes.
Thing is, even for a human being, this is a pretty dangerous walk across Highway 99, as the speed limit here is 50 miles per hour and many cars and semi-trucks go much faster than that. The question really isn't why did the tortoise cross the road, but how did he cross the road without getting hit? With amused onlookers patiently waiting, Christy's boyfriend came to the rescue. He and another person carried Stump back into the yard, and now Christy has put up a blockade to prevent Stump from straying to places he shouldn't go. You ever think about what a miracle it is and he didn't get hit?
Oh, I know, like, I think he'd be a pretty bad speed bump, but thank God, like, people actually stopped and saw him and were able to get him back in the yard.
After a brush with freedom and danger, an unfrightened tortoise is back home doing what he likes the most. In Las Molinas with Stump the Tortoise, Jerry Olenyn, KRCR News Channel 7.